Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is going to be a fun evening tonight. If you are watching this video, you need to come into this with the mindset that this is the no bullshit eXp conversation. We are not going to talk about how you join this company and you get rich quick and you get to go live on an island. You never have to work another day in your life. This is just the easy button, right? We all want the easy button, but the truth is there's no such thing as an easy button. So today what we want to do, unless you've been under a rock for the last month or so, you have been seeing all kinds of stuff happening at eXp. We're going to talk about this debate that Daniel had yesterday. We're going to talk about what the F is going on with the stock. Why the hell is it doing what it's doing? We're going to talk about Grant Cardone. Is that real? So this is going to be a fun conversation, Dan. I'm excited to dive into it. If you are watching this, if you have questions, stuff that you want us to talk about, if it's good, we'll talk about it. So throw it in the comment section. We're happy to talk about a little bit. We've got an hour blocked off for today. So this is just going to be fun. This is unscripted. We're just rolling with it. But what I want to start the roll with, Dan, is yesterday you had a fun little debate with a friend of ours, Ken Pozek, who's at Keller Williams. And I would love, let's recap what went down yesterday.
Yeah. Look, what Kyle and I want to do is we want to be your breath of fresh air. Okay. I think there's a lot, and we're going to recap this debate here yesterday, but I think there's a lot of people, Kyle, that are around the country wanting to understand the company, wanting to be a part of the company, and then get completely turned off by the get rich quick crowd that's like, oh, like come and you'll retire rich next weekend and never work a day in your life, and bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. And so what happens is they get turned off and they're trying to be turned on. We're going to be your breath of fresh air. This shit comes with hard work. We all are producing. This is the producer group. We sell real estate. We do a lot of it. And so anyway, yesterday we do this debate, right? It wasn't a debate. It was a discussion. But he put up a post. I had a lot to say about his post, and I just said, why don't we do it live? And to his credit, because he's a stand-up dude, and honestly, he's a good dude. We did this thing. Here's my biggest takeaway. It's a 45-minute thing. If you want to watch it, it's on my Facebook page. Go ahead. Don't leave us now, but you can go to that after. But the biggest thing is this. And if you'll humor me, okay, because my number one takeaway from the whole thing is all of this misinformation that's put out there, like, oh, it's an MLM, it's this, there's 7 levels, let me tell you something, okay? Dear agent, whoever you are, dear Berkshire Hathaway agent, dear Remax and Coldwell Banker and Century 21 and Keller Williams and Better Homes and Garden and Sotheby's and you're in a multi-level system. You are absolutely 100% undeniably, I'll prove it to you right now, in a multi-level system, precisely the same way that we are, and actually the same way even your team is, and my team is, and Kyle's team is, and always has been. Even businesses outside of our space, all of them. Grab a sheet of paper, humor me. Just literally grab a sheet of paper and draw a line down the middle. Let's, on the left side here of that paper, let's think about who earns money, who has financial incentive to your sales. Maybe depending on how your branch is organized, it's your branch manager, right? Depending on what incentives they have. It's certainly the franchise owner. So write that person's name. Write down now the name of all of the franchise owners' investors. Write down the name of the regional owner and write down the name of the regional owner's investors. Money flows the multiple levels of people, multiple people. These are the people that are incentivized to your success when you sell a house. Okay? When you're facing an obstacle, you're facing your next marketing problem, your next issue on how to hire your ISAs or how to pay your assistant or all the things that we're all going to face tomorrow morning, these are the folks that will directly make money when you sort that out. Now, on the right side of the sheet, I want you to write down $260 million producing Kyle Whissel. I want you to write down $193 million Jennifer Weiner and $180 million Mark Z and $140 million Dave DeVoe and $150 million Parker Pemberton and $179 million Julie DeRoche. And, I want you to write down someone who's probably done 1,000 transactions in her career, Mary Maloney, and $115 million Tina Cole and $100 million Lauren Rosen, $174 million Ryan Tolson, $200 million Mark Pattison, and look, I'm not going to torture you through more names, but it is endless. Okay, I've got a slew of more of them if you want. Legends like Marty Hampton. So write down their name on the right side of the sheet. You want to understand eXp without all the bullshit? It's this. Tomorrow morning, I don't give a crap what brokerage you wake up at. Kyle, you could wake up tomorrow at any brokerage, name it. We're all going to face the same issues. The world out there doesn't give a crap who we broker through. So we're going to have to figure out our listing presentation and our buyer presentation, and how to hire someone, how to bonus our admin, or if to bonus them, and why or why not. And we're going to have to sort out our lead gen and our Facebook and our Instagram, and we're going to have to, all those issues are going to be the same. The difference will come in this. Grab that sheet of paper, left side and right side. Which one of those two groups do you want incentivized to solving those issues alongside you? Which one of those two groups literally sorted out those issues this morning in their marketing meeting? Which one of those two groups had that issue and figured out how to work through it and how to prioritize all the different opportunities that you're facing, what to put in front of the other in the right order? Which of those two groups will get you from 10 sales to 30, or from 30 to 100, or from 200 to 400 if they open up everything they know about this business that we're in and you're in? All eXp is, because Ken kept asking, Kyle, what's the product? What's the product? The product is alignment of interest. Alignment of interest systems of actionable play, like the stuff, the detail that gets us the answers to those things that we're all going to figure out tomorrow morning, regardless of who the hell we broker through. That's my biggest takeaway, right? And it was fun. You could find it there. Does that make sense to you, dude? I know you were able to be there yesterday, but so you're kind of like talking through this with me right now. But
it does, though, because think about, like, every Monday we're getting on with the entire group. All of those names that you just mentioned, every Monday we're getting on. And this week we had one of our new guys who just joined our group. And he's like, you know what? I really need to work on my past client marketing. Like, I'm doing a little bit of it. I'm just not doing a lot of it. And then what does he get? He gets Julie DeRoche, who did almost 400 deals just from her database last year. I do this, and this. And then when COVID hit, I shifted over to do this, and this. Like, that's insane. Then somebody gets on. It's like, hey, I need some help building out my ISA department. Well, we're running a 4-person ISA department. I don't remember how many people you have in your ISA department, but now somebody who's just getting ready to launch an ISA department, now they're getting the plug into you. They're getting the plug into me. We're selling, hundreds of millions of dollars of real estate. Here's exactly how I would build my ISA department today. Here's the issues that I ran into when I was building out my ISA department. Here's what's working. Here's what's not. If I built it again, here's how I would do it. Like, they're literally getting the exact playbook from people who are doing it, who have the boots on the ground, that are actively doing it today. And so again, like Dan said, like, if you're thinking about who do you want money flowing to when you close a transaction, is it a ton of people you've never met before? Some of them might not even have a real estate license, right? Some of these owners and investors and stuff, they've never even sold a freaking house before. Or do you want people who are selling, right? Dan and I probably sold 5 houses today. Do you want people like us being the one that's going to support you? Because whatever you're running into, whether it be Dan, whether it be me, or whether it be one of the other 50 plus $1 million producers in our group, somebody in the group has run into that issue before. Yeah. And because we have the alignment of interest that Dan mentioned, we are all incentivized to help each other. It's a crazy thing, like the willingness to literally just open the kimono. I don't know why I love that phrase, but just, it's full open kimono. Whatever you need, it's yours. Like,
once and for all, can our industry just shut up about, like, oh, it's multiple levels? Guys, all business, you buy a car, money went to the dealership, it went to the sales guy, it went to the guy that owns the dealership investors, it went to the manufacturer, it went all the way up to, General Motors, and then to their guys, that's business. Okay. Remove that from anything that matters. And actually, kind of interesting, Kyle, yesterday, he kept asking, well, what if you remove that? What if you remove that? Then what do you have? Like, what if you, like, remove, like, the fact that, like, if Amazon drops the package off at your house on time? What if they don't drop it off on time? I'm like, well, that's the whole product. The product is, I tell agents all the time, don't get me wrong. Like I said in the beginning, this isn't this conversation of where money flows. I'm not trying to tell you, hey, come with us so it'll all flow to you. That's not it. I'm trying to say that if you're interested in going from 20 sales to 50 or 50 to 100 or 100 and beyond, the fact that money flows to people that are incentivized, that know how to get through the issues you're about to face, that's what matters. So I'm like, dude, I can't remove the thing that creates the product. The product is access and alignment with people that are doing what you do. Not okay, like why are there so many realtors obsessed with like their regional owner and their investors getting cash? I don't get it.
When they're doing absolutely nothing to help you build your business. I know that we've gone into some markets and it's always funny to talk to people. And I just love asking people, you know, who are you with? Awesome. Why are you with them? And, you know, I mean, we get a variety of answers, but my favorite one is like, oh, because it's cheap. Okay. Well, what are they doing to help you grow your business? And then they look at me like a confused puppy. They're like, like I don't even know what to say. Like I'm dumbfounded. Like, what do you mean? How are they helping you grow? Like, why is that a weird question to you?
Mm-hmm.
Like, why are you a part of an organization where you're paying money to, again, multiple people are making a cut off of that money? Why are you paying money into something if nobody's actually helping you grow your business? Like, why are you with a broker who does absolutely nothing to help you grow your business? All they do is give you a cheap place to hang your license, but they're doing absolutely nothing to help you grow. Like, what's the point? Why are you there? That doesn't even make sense to me. And so many of these brokerages, you know, the other ones we talk to is it's like, well, tell me about your broker and what are they doing to help you grow your business? Well, I mean, they're there to support me. Okay. What does that mean? Well, like, I mean, if I have an issue where somebody wants to sue me, like I can call the broker. Okay. What are they helping you do to grow your business? Well, I mean, they're there to support me. What are they helping you do to grow your business? And nobody seems to be able to answer that question. Like I've just been, these conversations I've been having lately, I've just been blown away of why would you be a part of a brokerage that's doing nothing to help you grow your business, nothing to move the needle. Every brokerage has somebody who's going to put the fire out for you. Like that's just the cost of doing business, right? That's the standard. But why are so many people with brokerages doing absolutely nothing for them? And it's because there's not that alignment of interest that we have. That is the big difference. And I think you're totally nailing it, is that we have this alignment of interest. Like there's that saying, right? If you want to get something out of life, help others get what they want out of life. Like this is that company because of the alignment where the more we pour into our group, the more we help people grow their business, which is why you should be with the broker. The more we help people grow their business, we all win together. Like it's just an amazing thing. But somehow people think that it's a smart idea to be at a broker because they put the fire out. We'll do it cheaply. Like that's insane to me, man.
What happens is that the higher ups in their space like villainize it and like create words for it, right? They label it a pyramid or a this or a that. And first off, like I like to educate people sometimes on just the actual definition of what things are, right? So and then MLM, which likes to get people like to throw out. Amazing when Keller Williams people throw it at us. That's like the most awesome, amazing thing that could possibly happen. Amazing. So anyway, when they throw that out, but anyway, an actual MLM, so you understand what it is there's a key factor where you sign up to like sell protein powder or whatever the hell you're going to do. And then they swipe your credit card for $1,000. And then that $1,000 gets kicked off the chain, whether you sell protein powder or not successfully. So you come with us right now, we don't get crap. We don't get crap unless you sell houses. Just like your regional owner doesn't get crap unless you sell houses. Just like your franchise owner doesn't get crap unless you sell houses. Just like, I mean, you guys, I hope it's clear as day how it's literally the same as any other brokerage structure, and the fact that money flows places when homes are sold and when commissions are earned. They're just flowing to people like Kyle and I versus who knows who. And that's it. If that offends you, this ain't for you. Great. If that's cool to you, then, cool. Then send Kyle a DM or whatever. But That's man, it's interesting, some of the crap that's out there. I thought of a little something I wanted to share. It slipped. So where do you want to go, man? I think people hopefully get that piece of it. I mean, it's undeniable. You can't go ahead, dispute the logic I'm sharing with you. Throw it in the comments if you think, if you want, or if you can. But that's the no bullshit version of what's happening. Here's more no bullshit though. Tomorrow, you come with us. Actually, tomorrow morning, aside from the fact that you have us, but you have to plug in. You have to work. You have to wake up in the morning. You have to implement what we share with you. A lot of people, people were asking, or someone asked me recently, they said, how do you have time for all these people? First off, we've systematized our Monday mastermind, our Tuesday coaching, our Wednesday expert mentors live. This is just our group stuff, right? And then we've, of course, the one-to-one cell phone stuff that we're all doing with one another. But here's the kicker to that one. I spend time with anybody that's a part of our group, anybody. Now, people will tell you, I spend time with you and you actually put it in play. We spend more time together. I spend time with you and you don't do anything, and then we spend more time together, because I'll spend more time after that, and you still don't do it, and we're just talking about the same thing all over again. And then you book me for like whenever, and then we're talking about the same thing all over again. I'm out on that. I'm spending my time with people that are going to put it in play and actually want to grow and want to take action. I hope that's not wrong. I think that turns on the right people. And if it turns people off, then they were probably the wrong people, right? They're the people who weren't going to take action anyway, because we don't get paid crap because you came with us. You have to sell houses.
Yeah, I know we were talking last night about Jeremy Larson and how that guy is the epitome of an implementer. One of my favorite sayings out there is ideas are shit, implementation is the game. It's a Gary Vee quote. And Jeremy's the epitome of it. We met Jeremy 2 years ago at the Zillow Unlock event. And that year, Jeremy he was a solo agent. I think he might have had an assistant at the time, did like $9 million in business, and was like, I want to grow a team. And we're like, all right, cool. And he asked some questions and we gave him some answers and he implemented. And he asked some more questions, gave him some more answers, and he implemented. Said like, hey guys, can I come down and visit your offices? I was like, yeah, come down. Our meetings are on Tuesday. Dan's like, my meeting's on Tuesday too. So Jeremy flies down from NorCal, hangs out at my office for a few hours, hangs out at Dan's office for a few hours, asks some more questions, and implements. And hits us up randomly, more questions, implements, starts growing a team, asks more questions, implements, hops on the mastermind calls, asks more questions, implements. A year later, that 9 million becomes 30 million. Jeremy starts asking more questions, implements, starts hopping on the masterminds, implements. What happened to Jeremy the second year? 100 million. Jeremy went from 9 million to 30 million to 100 million. Dan, if we don't watch ourselves, he's probably going to blow past us. Crazy is that, right? Everybody wants to make it out like this is get rich quick. This is just, retire and live on an island the rest of your life and never work another day. Like, no, this is the group. If you want to grow your business, if you want to do what Jeremy did and literally more than 10x his business in 2 years, this is the group. Like, because of the collective wisdom of all the badasses in our group. Again, there's 50 plus people doing 50 plus million in volume. Like, it's insane. The collective power of that, to where you could ask a question about anything. You want to focus on working with people with 3-legged dogs and one eye. There's somebody in the group who's focused on that before and sold homes to those people. Like, the collective genius is so amazing that if you take what you learn from the group and you implement it like Jeremy did, there's no reason everybody can't do that. I know we were talking with Brett Sikora yesterday. It went from 43 million to 126 million in 2 years. Like, I freaking love that, right? Now, if you're watching this, you've probably seen other people post about eXp, and every post is, oh, I made all this money this month. Look at my stock account. Look at my revenue share. F that. That doesn't matter.
Look, yeah.
Our group is about how do we help people grow their business? How do we help you be the next Jeremy Larson? How do we help you be the next Brett Sikora? How do we help you grow your business? Because the beauty of this is there's that alignment of interest. The more we help you, the more we're helping ourselves at the same time. It's a beautiful model.
One of those really weird things that people will ask me, Kyle, is, well, what about the broker, like, how does the broker work? Is there a local broker? I'm like, yeah, broker works like it works anywhere. There's a broker. So it's a weird, I don't know if it's because it's like a cloud thing or whatever, but people will ask that. So yes, can you imagine trying to do the volume of business that Kyle and I do and tons of our partners do? I mean, David Brook in our group did 503 transactions last year. Mark Z did 700 plus. Can you imagine if the brokerage piece was not on point? It'd be done, be a deal breaker, done, out, like, right? Like, the primary thing the brokerage should do is broker your stuff, right? Like, it's the broker vehicle in the back. I'm gonna have to broker my business through somewhere, and I might as well broker the business through a structure that's chosen to incentivize producers versus trying to incentivize, arm's length away owners. And in fact, hell, makes us owners. And in this whole stock thing, that's, I think, the big thing to it is, look, I don't have a damn clue if it's going to go to half of it what it is now or double what it is now. I have no idea. I do know it'll be more than $1. I do know it'll be more than zero, which is most places, but I don't know where it'll go. But here's the thing it does do is it makes it really freaking fun, because just straight up, when you're the fastest growing brokerage in the history of the industry in North America, when you're causing like other brokerages to have meetings about you, when you're causing them to disseminate information into their branches on how to stop you, and when you literally, in our case, as an example, and I know, for example, Tina Call and Sharon and Marty Hampton and all them in Raleigh, they've experienced this exact same thing. We came to see in San Diego, and look, there was 30 people. I'm not gonna, let's just say a lot of homes weren't being sold, okay? We came, Kyle and I and Mary Maloney, and shortly thereafter, freaking $100 million Kurt Wanabo and $100 million Pete Middleton and $40-50 million Arlo Nugent, on and on. Anyway, long story short, 2 short years later, San Diego Association of the Realtors Gala, they do this huge gala every year, Brokerage of the Year, eXp Realty. Okay, so when you're involved in this, you own it. You wake up in the morning and see, did we all make money or did we all lose money today? Today we all made money. Yesterday we all lost money. That's the stock market. I can't predict where it's going to go, but I could tell you it's really damn fun and it's very connective. It's connective tissue amongst us all that are die hard, just freaking focused on one thing. Let's create more productive agents. We're smart enough to know something. Look, everything we do is strategic. You're right. We're smart enough to know that if you want more of these like other eXp things that people run around talking about constantly, the best way to get them is to just simply help people to create more productive agents and ourselves to be productive, right? To not be fake gurus, to do it, to be in it, to be literally in what we are preaching. And so it's a lot of damn fun, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And to me, that's what it represents. Now, Kyle, kind of stuff that's being buzzed around in news and so on. I got my take on, I think, what this will do. Roland, just go ahead and message Kyle. Just send a DM, set up a little Zoom with you, man. And again, like, I'm not even joking about this crap. Like, the reason that we're successful with what we're doing is because when you come to one of our masterminds, we're not going to mastermind all day on how like you can build your downline or do these things or stop being a realtor and become a recruit. We're not going to do that. It's going to be about production. Our goal is you can invite any agent to our mastermind. They can never join us and they will thank you 75 times and kiss your feet for having invited them. Because it's just good production-based content. The one thing that every one of us, doesn't matter what flag you're waving, all of us are selling houses, right? At the end of the day, that's what we're going to do tomorrow morning, no matter what. So Kyle, I've got my take on, I think, the whole Grant Cardone thing and what benefits or what it's going to do, what it's actually not going to do, what could be getting overplayed, underplayed, et cetera. I'm curious what your feel is on that whole thing. Because one of the knocks, let's go to the knocks. One of the knocks is like, oh, see, like this non-real estate guy is coming, and that's proof that it's about other things. I think sometimes people forget we're about we own Success Enterprises, for example, right? So what do you see this all becoming?
Yeah, I mean, one, it's a testament to Clubhouse first and foremost, because that entire thing all went down in Clubhouse. Glenn, which mad props. It's so cool to see that literally this guy's like was a newly minted billionaire when I saw him last year at an event, and now he's like a 3x billionaire, which is insane. It's crazy to think that somebody like that, though, is still, when he's got, some spare time, he's hopping in Clubhouse and just adding value. Like you and I had a room running a couple weeks ago, and Glenn hops in just to add value for the room. And then freaking Grant jumps in. I think the deal might have started a spark in our room because they're talking about texting each other in our room. But it's crazy to see that. It's cool that we have a founder who's actually active, right? You're not seeing a lot of these other founders or presidents or CEOs of any of these other companies getting into Clubhouse. So it's really cool to see him in there mixing it up and sharing the story, right? I mean, how the hell did he build this company to a $10 billion plus company? So it's been really cool to see that. But as far as Grant joining, and now I don't know if it's for sure Grant, I believe it's his wife who's joining, whatever, the Cardone family is joining the company. Here's the deal. What is Grant known for? He is known for 10x. He is known to be one of the best sales coaches in the world. He has events that tens of thousands of people are flying to his events to learn how to 10x their sales business. That is in perfect alignment with what we're all about, right? Jeremy 10x'd his business joining this company. Like, we all want to 10x our business. So the fact that we now have the Cardone family locking arms with us to now share the 10x vision with our company, like, I think it's fantastic. I'm stoked to be in alignment. I've become a big fan. I've been in a lot of rooms and talking with Grant. It's been fun. Like, that guy is one of the most amazing salespeople on this earth. He's literally like the Tony Robbins of sales. So the fact that he's choosing to align his interest with ours, he's just going to do nothing but pour into our company and just teach more sales skills of how can we grow our business? How can we help more people? So I'm all about it, dude.
One quick thing, Kyle, if you don't mind, while I give my 2 cents, why don't you go ahead and tag me into this thing? Would be sweet. My take on Cardone is, I think that it's going to expose eXp to a ton of people in the investment world. It'll get more, it'll create buzz on almost on the Wall Street type of level, and just among investors, among the VC world, that kind of thing. It could only bring more money into the organization as far as from the investor side, right, on the stock side. So I think that'll only be positive there. My hopes are that what you said, sales, right? So my hopes are, guys, we own Success Enterprises. Success Magazine being the most well-known part of that, but Success Enterprises, where you're going to start to see most likely the entire a big self-development arm of eXp Realty and of eXp World Holdings, right? So that's at least this is just my gut based on the fact they bought the damn thing, right? So that's what I would do with it, at least. I'm hoping that Cardone becomes a part of that, like Success, right? Like that plays in with his whole thing as well. I'm hoping we see some really high level, just kick-ass sales training. I don't know if it's going to be sales courses or sales training or sales something or other. I hope we see energy at our conferences, at our events. I love the fact that Glenn will be speaking at the 10X Growth Summit, which is going to be attended by many, many tens of thousands of people across the world. So that'll be cool. And I hope he's just adding value in that way. I don't know what it means in terms of agents like rushing in because Cardone's a part of it or not part of it. I don't know. I think the best way to get there isn't just by him simply being in it, but of actually creating real value on the sales training side and helping people think about their money and their wealth and creating a system and, for how you handle your money. How many of us agents, I'm still learning my lessons. My newest lesson was learning the value of depreciation recently. Like, that is something I needed very much. And so just making us smarter with what we're doing. I mean, the real estate transaction is a hard thing, right? It's a hard pain in the ass thing at times. Dealing with a lot of human beings, a lot of emotions, can be incredibly rewarding. And we love it. We did a lot of it this past year. We're going to do much more of it this year. You want to make sure you retain as much of that reward as possible by just being financially smart. So I guess that's like financial literacy. I hope that's part of what he brings to the table. We'll find out. Mentioning Clubhouse, not that I want to go have a Clubhouse conversation, but I'm curious what you've learned on it that's actually you can connect back here, Kyle, to like what's like kind of the no BS version again of people that are thinking about eXp. Again, I think there's a lot of people that are thinking about it, but they can't help but just sometimes be turned off by the way it's presented to them. 45,000 people so far were turned on, but I know it can be presented in many different ways. And I think the biggest thing for me that I learned there in Clubhouse, and one of them that just stood out was I was in this room, dude, and it was awesome. I think everyone will appreciate this. They were asking, it was like, how do you go from like a 7-figure to 8, 9-figure, even 10-figure? I forget it was net worth or business. And the answer was access. The answer that was given ultimately was, well, the way you get there is access, right? Because you're assuming there's already a good enough product. I mean, that's how you got to 7 figures, right? So how do you get to the next spot? Access to relationships, access to people, access to the right alignment, access to capital, access to deal flow. It's access because that access is actually leverage in allowing you to do more with whether it's your time or your money. And so I see that being extremely congruent with what we have going, what eXp's allowed us to create with the platform they gave us, and then the way that you and I and the people around us have chosen to use that platform. You're muted, bro.
I was literally going to say the same thing because I've heard that multiple times. I've been in rooms with Grant, with Glenn, with Damon John, with John Lee, with Glenn Lundy, all these like badass billionaires. And it's funny when they talk about what is it that took them from a 7-figure to a 10-figure business. And it is all about connections. It is all about who you know. I mean, you and I went to a dinner last week, and through somebody we know, we're introduced to a huge business opportunity just via a really solid connection. Literally the next day I was out at happy hour with somebody else introduced to a potential tech play, of a company that's going to be, a 8-figure, 9-figure company when it exits, and getting opportunities to be a part of that and getting into it early. Like there's so much that's about connections, because that's what takes you to that next level. When you get around people, when you level up, like shit, we're leveling each other up, right? Like we're talking about the house that you're, building, and I'm inspired by it. And then we're all buying buildings and stuff right now. Like we're leveling each other up in the process right now. Like it's just because we're associated with it. It's pushing you to do things that you're uncomfortable with and me to do things that I'm uncomfortable with. But because of the association, it's pushing us to get out of that comfort zone and to elevate to that next level. So that, and then I'll share one that has nothing to do with this, but it's one that was fun. I got to be in this room with a bunch of YouTube creators, and these kids were all in their 20s, if that, some of them in their teens. And, some of these guys, 20, 30, 40, 50 million subscribers on their channels. Like, I don't even know how I found this or how I got in this room, but to hear these kids that we just like, oh, they're just some young punk kid. They're running fucking organizations, bro. Like these guys are like, I have 3 content strategists. I have 4 graphic designers. I have 2 videographers, 1 photographer. I have 2 publicists. Like I was just like blown away about these guys who we just think they're like, oh, there's some punk kid on YouTube running like 20-person organizations. Like they're not just some punk kid. It was really cool to hear what goes into these, channels that they've built. So that's the cool thing too with Clubhouse, is just even getting to eavesdrop in that room and just hear these guys talking, like, because they're legends, but they're amongst their peers. So it's almost like getting a seat at the table with all these YouTube celebrities and just getting to eavesdrop. Like, I'd pay a lot of money to be at that table traditionally, right? Just like being in some of these billionaire rooms. Like, I'd pay a lot of money to sit at a table and hear Grant Cardone and Glenn Sanford and Damon John shoot the shit with each other. Like, I'd pay a lot of money to sit at those tables. Just like people would pay a lot of money to sit at our tables. Shit, I've paid a lot of money to sit at other real estate tables.
Right, I have paid money.
Right? I mean, I remember back in the REO days, like going to these events where it was like, oh, we're doing an asset manager dinner. And, you know, I'd shell out $1,000 in a heartbeat so I could be at that table, to be surrounded by those people. Paying $1,000 to go to a dinner was like nothing, right? I was like, hey, if that gets me at the table, that gets me around the people that I need to be connected to, take my $1,000, right? I'm happily give that $1,000 away. But it ties, all of it is back to being connected to those people that can make things happen, people that will push you to new levels, push you out of that comfort zone and accomplish things that you never thought possible. I mean, nobody's ever sold 400 homes in San Diego before. Like, it's never happened. 3 of us all did it last year. We pushed each other. I mean, you know, we were shooting each other messages. Where are you at? Where are you at? Where are you at? And it pushed all of us. It's amazing what happens with that power of association and connection.
Listen, one of the things that I think happens sometimes is, like, everything you just mentioned, it's so powerful. It's so fun. We stay in our space and we do what we do, and we're growing, and we add awesome people to the group along the way. But we're also like, here's what's not going to happen. You're not all going to get like some random cold call from Kyle and I or anything like that. Okay. That's just not what we do. This is my little girl, Leah. So what I think to not mince words really quickly, because it's really not what we will often do, is we're looking and for more like-minded people that want to be a part of what we've built. And we'd love to partner with you if you're production oriented, if you are value oriented, and if you're more concerned with what you make versus what you pay. Not because it's expensive, by the way, it's like literally nothing, but from a mental standpoint, because actually in one of those Clubhouse rooms, another question was asked, and this thing, I love it. I made a Facebook post on it, right? 5 and 6 figure earners, what does this cost? 7 and 8 figure earners, what will this make? What will this make us? So anyway, yeah, we'd love to. You just go ahead and message us and we'll have that conversation. But just understand that this is the space we're going to stay in, and no one's going to pull us out of the space of being production focused, because all good things in our life have come from production, and we're going to stay there. Number 2 is, don't ever mistake the space we give you and the respect we have for you for any kind of lack of enthusiasm on working together. But we're just simply not going to, you know, because we had a call doesn't mean we're not going to blow you up 97 times tomorrow morning and like have some like amazingly sharp close for you. You'll be amazed at what bad closers we are. We're just not going to do it. But don't mistake that space and that respect that we give for lack of enthusiasm and for anything else. I have a question for you, Kyle. Yeah. Brokerage, independent brokerages, reaching out to you left and right. And what's going on? Look, you were an independent brokerage. You came over 3 years ago, but let's be honest, it wasn't happening at the speed of what we're experiencing right now. Is there a change in the atmosphere? Is there what the hell's going on, right? Why are independent brokerages so honed in right now? I could tell you we've got no short of 3, just personally, national franchises from big known names literally 4 flipping the switch as we speak right now. You'll see them all within the next like 8 days. And then you're getting blown up even way more than me on the brokerage side. Why?
Yeah, I mean, I've just in the last week, I've had conversations with 20, 30, 35, 60, 65, and 200 person brokerages, all in the last week, all looking at coming over. And so a lot of them are people that I actually initially talked to 3 years ago. And they've just now come around to it. And a lot of them admittedly have said, you know what, I was too prideful. I had too big of an ego. I didn't see the bigger vision. I was too focused on myself, and I didn't see the opportunity. And Some of them actually said they're mad at me, that it was my fault that they didn't see the vision. Apparently I didn't illustrate the vision clearly enough, but
you didn't push them.
Yeah, I didn't push, but that's that's a blessing and a curse. I'm never pushing anybody to do anything that they don't want to do. But what's happening now is the reason I think a lot of independents are coming over is they realize, like, I know we've all heard this before, but the root word of brokerage is broke. There are very, very few brokerages out there that are truly making money. And one of the reasons they're not making money is they're spending too much time on brokerage crap. They're spending too much time getting a lawsuit coming in and having to defend the freaking lawsuit. They're spending too much time. I mean, I get these even still because people think I'm the broker, because the beauty of eXp is I get to brand my team in a way where people even think I'm the broker, right? We're compliant and all of that fun stuff, but we've branded so heavily as Whistle for so long that we stay Whistle, right? So people still think I'm the broker. And the thing I love now is I got one last week where we just bought this house and we found out there's a slab leak. The contractor put a nail through a pipe and now there's water leaking under my foundation. And as one of my agents dealing with that situation, I'm like, hey, you know what? The beauty is I just hit that F button, right? When you're in Gmail, if you hit F, that's the forward button. And I get to forward that over to the broker. And the broker gets to handle that, because here's what happens is, like, we're on this, like, I'm a freight train down a track right now. The last thing I want to do is get off track and have to stop and go deal with this nonsense that I had nothing to do with, right? That even my agent didn't have anything to do with. Nobody had anything to do with it. Some stupid contractor made a mistake. Where before, when I was independent, the train had to stop, which it's hard to stop a train, takes a lot of work to stop it. Now I got to go deal with this nonsense. Then I got to finally, once I'm done, get the train back on the track, get it back up to speed. That's way too much work. It takes way too much energy to stop a train, to start a train. And as a result, what a lot of these brokers are realizing is they're spending so much time on this that they're not being on track, and they're not making any freaking money. And a lot of them are realizing, you know what, if I could stop all this dumb stuff over here and I could just stay full steam ahead down the track, I can actually make some freaking money. And a lot of them are realizing that they can change a lot of people's lives. I mean, I've had one of my agents, my top agent this week, just reached out and was like, you know what, I doubted this move 3 years ago. I questioned this move, if this made sense. But you seeing around the corner of what was coming has literally changed my life forever. Like, he was able to just sell his old house, buy a gorgeous new home up in Fallbrook, like dream home for him and his family. And it's like, we've been able to change people's lives because we stopped dealing with all this nonsense that we were dealing with before. And now we're just a freight train down a track and helping our team members go out there and crush it and grow their businesses. And so I think that's what a lot of the brokers are seeing is quit dealing with this. This is terrible. I mean, you have so many sleepless nights when you have all these lawsuits and all this nonsense going on. When you get rid of that and you could be focused, because that's what a lot of us were, great agents. And then we got distracted by this like brokerage vision that we're going to like build this thing and sell it for millions of dollars someday. And so we stopped doing what we're best at, which is building, and started brokering. And there's no money in brokering. There's a lot of money in building. And so when they can get rid of the brokering and just focus on building, now they become massively profitable again. And they provide a lot of new opportunities to their team that didn't exist. I know Brian from your team, for example, with just the healthcare alone, like screw stock, screw revenue share, screw all that other stuff. Just the fact that by utilizing the healthcare opportunity that eXp has, he's saving like $900 a month. Like, that's amazing to be able to provide an opportunity like that to our team members while getting rid of all this BS over here. It's amazing.
So like the broker thing, three responses to what you've just said. The broker thing I've always felt is like being an independent broker. It's too inexpensive to not let someone else shoulder that liability. I've always felt like, because people ask me why I'm not, got my own, I'm in escrow on a building right now, but I've always had my own office and my own, my staff and my stuff and my brand and my thing. So they ask, why aren't you? Because the reason why is because it's a solution. It's an old solution to an old problem. It was a great solution in 1995, when your alternative was like a big box on a 50-50 and all they were going to provide you was a desk and a phone and good luck. I mean, don't get me wrong. That's like, team model. Yeah, 50-50s. And it could even be more than that. But you're providing everything, right? So you better be filling my damn calendar with appointments and giving me leads. I'm cutting up my credit cards if I'm going on a 50-50, right? But no, it was, so yeah, back in the day, you had this old problem and the old solution was, well, let me just broker it myself. In today's world, it is so damn inexpensive to not let someone else shoulder that liability for you, because independent brokers, I'm talking to you right now, and I'd love healthy debate. You tell me if I'm wrong. I don't believe you've ever made one penny, ever, not one incremental dime of revenue, because you actually brokered the deal. You made a ton of money because of what your brand, your selling philosophy, your way of doing business, your way of treating the client, your way of doing it after this, what you do after the sale, how you manage the listing, how much you held their hand through the transaction, how much you kept in touch, how much you educated them via your content. You made a lot of money for those reasons, and not one penny over the fact that you were mechanically brokering in the background. It turns out like they don't care. So why are you taking on time, energy, liability over something that doesn't produce incremental revenue? That was never a good value proposition for me. It was just never a smart business decision to me. So now look, if you were to tell me, dude, you don't get it. I'm doing 2,000 agents in year one, and then we're going to 4,000, then we're going to 10,000, then I'm selling to Realty. Be like, all right, look, at least this guy's got a plan, or at least this lady's got like a vision. But I could still, my God, sit down with me for like 3 minutes and I'll still share with you how this would still be bigger than that. Because here you could actually sell your company over and over and over and over and over again while retaining 100% ownership. And then you could still sell it someday in the future if you wanted to. But at least they'd have a plan. But all these brokerages with 10 agents, 20 agents, 100 agents, 50 agents, well, it's no wonder 200 of them chose to move their operations here. And my prediction this year, Kyle, based on what we're seeing, it'll be at least double that. A good 400 or so brokerages will move their operations. It's just the insurance carrier. I've never gone to a restaurant because I gave a crap if it carried insurance through State Farm or through Chubb. I go for their food. You know what I mean? And so anyway, that's my feedback there. Feedback number 2, compliment to you. I think you received the greatest compliment that a visionary, an entrepreneur could ever receive, right? And forget the money and the house in Fallbrook and all those things. Forget that part of it. Just simply the compliment that you were able to see around the corner for them. That is your freaking job, man. That is exactly your primary responsibility. And it's the primary responsibility of anybody watching this that has people behind them. You have to keep people in front, ego aside, and make sure you have everybody positioned in the best possible place for success and shielding them from the pitfalls, which liability is included in that. And 3, if nothing else, this whole thing has been worth it because we just discovered that if you are working on Gmail and you press F, you can freaking forward a goddamn email. I didn't know that. What the hell?
Yeah, there's like a whole thing of keyboard shortcuts in Gmail. F is forward. Wow. I think J goes back 1, K goes forward 1. There's like a whole like hidden thing within Gmail, dude. Save you time.
That's awesome.
Dude, I actually had this thing printed out by my desk for like a month to learn them all. Now they're just like burned into my brain. It's beautiful.
If someone that's not at eXp, not running their business on the platform, again, you're at Whistle Realty, right? I'm at Your Home Team. I ran that one video where I'm like, hey, I've gone independent. Yep. And I knew it got people's attention, right? I've gone independent. Because the truth is, guys, I went independent years ago when I chose to be Your Home Team. But I choose a liability carrier, right? I don't carry it myself. Anyway, if somebody who's not running their business on eXp's platform, their independent business, right, on eXp's platform, wants to grab a conversation with you privately, Is there a short URL or anything like that you got, or should they just send a DM or DM us?
Yeah, so you could DM me on here, or if you go to my Instagram at Kyle Whistle, if you hit the link in my bio, there's an opportunity to schedule a 30-minute Zoom with me. So if you really want to dig deep, you're open-minded about your business, you're ready to put the preconceived notions aside, you're ready to check the ego at the door, like you're seriously ready to consider this, I would love to help you explore it. I know that this has changed my life. This has changed, I mean, just within my team has changed my team members' lives. It's changed, hundreds of agents' lives across the country. And it's been really fun to be a part of it. And so would love to share the opportunity with you. So again, you can shoot me a DM, or if you go to my Instagram at Kyle Whistle, hit the link on there. You could schedule some time. I'd love to sit down and just look at where are you at in your business? Where do you want to get to? And let's see if there's an alignment here that makes sense to help you hit those goals. So love the opportunity to share it with you.
Because we are we're production focused, production first all the time. All good things truly in our life have come because of production. And so that's where we're going to remain focused. What's the goal this year? Let's lay it out.
We're going from 30 to 60 agents. We're going to 600 transactions at an average price of 600. We call this the devil year because it's like all these sixes, but it'll equate out to 360 million in volume this year.
Awesome.
And you?
Our goal this year, I don't even want to tell you because then you change your goal to be like one more than mine.
Mine's already on my PTO. It can't be changed. So.
So our goal this year is last year we did 336 million over 438 transactions. Not over 438. We did exactly 438. I meant like across 438 transactions. This year the goal is 712 transactions. And it is, doing the math here because I don't remember the volume number, but I remember our average price point guess, 462,800,000 is our volume goal. It'll be interesting. It felt like if you just gave me that number, 712, it feels a little aggressive, but we ran the numbers the three ways we always run it, right? Polling the agents. What do they expect out of themselves as a leadership team, judging what do we expect out of them? And then looking at all of our lead sources that we know we're making investments into, and we'll continue to, which ones we're scaling, which ones we're not, et cetera, and making guesses at the lead sources, putting them up against each other, debating them, et cetera. And believe it or not, that 712 was like really conservative versus those numbers. It'll be interesting to see. And it's definitely a stretch year, but yes, last year was a stretch year and we blew past. So it'll be a fun thing to watch, man. That's just fun.
This has been good. Yeah. We haven't done this in a little while. It's been good.
Because eXp isn't like you get on these eXp things sometimes like, well, here's the stock and here's the thing and here's the cap and here's how much you pay per month and this is the thing and this. That's what's interesting to me. Why'd I come? I came because of the incredible top producers that were going to have financial interest in my growth. So that resonates. Then we can have a conversation. Of course, we'll lay out all the other detail-y stuff. You have to, right? As a business person, you have to know those things. But those things don't make a damn difference if you're not interested in the environment that we've built for one another. Sure. Look, let's grab a conversation if that's you, and if that's not you, then hell, man, that's freaking cool too. And we'll do this again soon.
Yeah, again, if you guys want to connect, you want to set up some time, go to my Instagram at Kyle Whistle. I make it simple. I don't do some stupid name like Killer Kitty 69. All of you guys take a lesson on this. Your Instagram name should be your freaking name. Don't make it complicated. Don't be hard to find on there. Make it easy. So find me on Instagram, and there's a link on there. You can schedule 30 minutes with me. I'd love to sit down, just kind of dive into your business, figure out where you at, where do you want to go, and let's talk about how we could get you there. So love for you guys to explore that with me.
At Killer Kitty 32. All right. Wow. Bye.
Later.